not only that, but our troops, soldiers that had been through Africa, Italy, France, and they ended up in, they were warned not to buy any liquor, anything from the Germans, but some of them bought the poison liquor, and they also bought some of the V2 bomb fuel. And when we got them, they were red from head to toe. They were, of course, unconscious, and they never regained consciousness because they were poisoned so bad.
And they turned red?
Yes, yeah.
So they bought what kind of fuel did they buy?
The V2 bomb,
Did they buy the fuel to drink?
yes. They were ready to drink anything. They were so happy the war was over. So they just threw caution to the wind, you know.
So they did all this hard work and dodged every bullet,
Yes.
and then they died
Yes,
from drinking poison liquor.
and some of them didn't have their dog tags on, so you didn't know who they were.
It's horrible.
And of course it was line of duty, no, but our doctors put line of duty, yes, because, yeah, come on.
Really?
And so then after that, after the war was really ended, 6 of us had an opportunity to fly to Paris on a mail plane, MAIL. If we were willing to sit on the mail bags. So we had, I've forgotten how long we were in Paris, but it was wonderful because one of our best friends was a Canadian nurse who was also an American citizen, and she spoke French.
Ah.
So we had it made. Would be
Yeah, you had your translator with you.
So
What
so
was your purpose in France, Paris?
Pardon?
What was your purpose there?
Just to celebrate the war over.
Oh, it was just a chance to go somewhere.
And Paris was still intact.
Okay, so it wasn't
So
a
it was gorgeous still.
that you weren't going there on some kind of a
No,
mission,
no,
or okay,
no.
you just
It
had an
was just-
opportunity. Okay,
and,
neat.
and Paris was still
Intact because they
relatively in good shape, right?
Well, yes and no. There were certain things you could do in Paris, like we could go to the Folies Bergère.
Oh, you could?
Yes,
And did you go?
you did.
Yeah.
You did. And it was, I'd say, a sophisticated burlesque show. Really classy, you know. And we went to the Palace of Versailles,
Oh, you did?
but it was basically empty because they had taken all of the things out to
Right.
protect them.
Right.
And the fountain wasn't on, of course. But when it came time to leave Paris, we had no transportation to the airport, no transportation, and we were due to join our unit, which had been moved from Germany to France to get ready to go back to the United States. But we didn't have any transportation, so we went to an MP station and told them our problems, and he said, "Stay right here. I'll get you a ride." So I said, "Well, I'll stay." And the others went over to get a drink or something, and pretty soon army vehicle came up called a weapons carrier. It's like a truck with a number of seats, like 6 seats in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And the soldier in charge was Captain John Kennesaw Lee from South Carolina. And he said he was tall and handsome. And I said, well, I'll go get the girls. He says, no, I'll get them. Where are they? He said, okay. So he got us settled and then he managed to sit next to me and we went to Reims, Reims, France is where our unit, outside of Reims, France was where our unit was getting ready to go back to the United States.
So how long did it take you to get from Paris to Reims?
Well, it took most of the day and in the evening, and it was so foggy you couldn't see your hand in front of your face.
Oh.
So we couldn't find our unit, and he said, well, John Kennesaw Lee said, I know some of the nurses at this hospital, so we can stay there all night. So, okay. So the next morning, our camp was right next to the place.
Oh, really? But you couldn't tell because it was
Couldn't
so...
see it, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, funny.
So we stayed there, and John came over every evening to see Mary, and we went for a little picnic with a candy bar and a bag of peanuts. And then I was waiting for a friend to come in from Germany, who's with the 13th Armored. His name was Frederick Hartmann Mueller, and so...
Was he a doctor or
No,
soldier?
No, he was a soldier. He was an armored group. And the interesting thing was that one evening when John came over, he said, I'm going to be sent to Korea. So I told him I had a brother who was in Korea. Archie was in Korea at that time.
At that time?
Yeah.
So there was already stuff happening in Korea during World War II?
Yes. So, I got a letter from him, and he said, I came into, Seoul, where Archie was located. He said, I came in to see someone. He was a captain when I first met him, Captain Lee. And then he became a colonel. And he came in to see some of his wounded men. And he wanted to stay all night there. So
Was this Mueller, John Mueller?
No.
Oh. The...
Captain Lee.
Captain Lee.
Oh, Lee, the guy from North Carolina.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina.
So the person in charge said, well, you can bill it with Dr. Ahern.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Just like that. Oh, that's funny.
What are the odds?
That's funny.
So John wrote me about meeting Archie and chatting. And then, I had a couple of letters from him, but then I never heard from him again. And I figured he must have either been killed or disappeared somehow.
And you never knew what happened?
No, Army was very protective of everybody. You have little chance to find out about anybody in the service, because while we were in England, one of our nurses, Nellie Corbett.
What?
Nellie Corbett.
That's our grandma's
That was our-
name.
I know it.
Oh.
Nellie Corbett was a little blonde, and she had graduated from Queen of Angels Hospital in Los Angeles, and she was with our evacuation unit. And she was, well, when we were at Camp Bowie, Texas, one evening, I heard all this commotion outside our barracks. And I looked out the window, and here I see Nellie with two of our doctors, and they were trying their best to control her. And she was kicking and going crazy. They had been at a dance. And so I put my robot and went out and got her. And she says, when I have a drink, I want to take my clothes off. So I guess they didn't want her to take her clothes off. So she started to cry, and oh yeah. Well, to make a long story short, one night in England, she went out with some of the members to a pub in England. And when they were ready to go home, they couldn't find her. And the next morning, an English woman who was on her way to work saw someone on a ledge just over a bluff. And it was Nellie. And never heard anything about her after that. Until I came back to the United States, and I had lunch with one of the men I knew at Santa Ana Air Base. And he says, you know, Mary, when I went from Santa Ana Air Base to Fort George Wright. And he said, guess who was there? Was Nellie. And he said they were having a lot of trouble because she was always running away. So all I could figure is she had a head injury sometime. So,